Look at this, a whole group of kids crossing the street, school letting out here. This is the worst. This is the worst.
Welcome to Viral Twist. Ever wondered what happens when a bad decision meets an even worse one? Well, buckle up. This guy's about to turn his life into a comedy show you won't believe.
Heavily tinted windows. You really can't see what's inside, and we have no idea whether there were other passengers inside, potentially even a child or a baby. So you have no idea. We hear about these stories so often where somebody carjacks a vehicle with innocent people inside the car. Again, we have to remind you, this is a pickup truck that was at the gas station, presumably being filled with gas. So we have to assume that we're working with a full tank of gas in that pickup truck. A very dangerous situation, a lot of unknowns. And like I said, that all of that information leads me to believe that they are going to dedicate more resources to this because the suspect behind the wheel here is obviously very dangerous, must be taken off the road. We've already seen some of that erratic driving. You can see him doing still 100 miles per hour in light traffic, but that's going to change here, of course, the further west we get on the 91 freeway, 105 miles per hour. Yeah, we're dealing with a lot of unconfirmed information. Obviously, we're speculating a little bit. Anytime you hear the word road rage, you have to wonder whether the person is in their right state of mind. Are they under the influence? Is it something like that? Or is this a larger crime spree that is underway here in Corona this afternoon? We're now into Anaheim Hills area where he is still riding that shoulder to get around the very few cars in his way. They're not really even in his way, but he is just about to off-road here to get around the few cars that there are in those express lanes. For some reason, he doesn't want to pull over to the right here. Again, he's got the whole freeway to himself. Why he's using that shoulder, I have no idea. But again, the information that we have received from police is that this was a road rage incident that resulted in a hit and run, and our assignment desk did get some information that this may also involve a robbery. So again, this could be part of a larger crime spree, or this could just be, well, I think at this point it's fair to say this is a crime spree, because now when you see somebody daring enough and brazen enough to carjack somebody in the middle of the day like that at a gas station just to get away from the cops. Obviously, this is somebody with probably, and we can't say this for sure, obviously, but probably already has a rap sheet, if you will. Flying across the freeway, Look at this. Getting off. And coming at us. He's coming at us. Now he is, look at this. Is he wearing a uniform? I can't tell for sure. Or maybe a sports jersey. It's either a sport, maybe it's okay, it's just a t-shirt. Okay. I thought I saw an arm patch there, excuse me. Yeah, it caught me off guard there. Obviously an older gentleman with a goatee wearing a baseball cap, and it does look like maybe a sports jersey or a t-shirt that he's wearing with that gun in his lap. At least one. Yeah, he's got a gun in his lap there. And now look at this, communicating with the pickup truck next to him. The driver rolling down the window, taking his AirPods out, trying to communicate with another driver. Looks like he's asking for directions. He's at Tustin Avenue, just off of the 55 freeway, and it looks like he was trying to figure out where he is or where he's going. There are going to be multiple agencies now that are going to be working cohesively, hopefully here in very short order, to put this to an end. You're talking about Riverside County Sheriff. You're talking about Orange County Sheriffs. You're talking about Anaheim PD, Corona PD, the California Highway Patrol. They will stop at nothing at this point after he just fired that weapon at those units. We don't know if anybody was hit. It happened too fast, and we did not get a good glimpse at the pursuing officers there, but it appeared to be, from what I'm being told, a Corona PD officer that pulled in behind this pickup truck, and as he came to a stop in the middle of the transition there. Yeah, as we proceed through this chase, guys, I go through all of the possible ways in my head that this could possibly end, and I think it's fair to say that most of the typical ways that we're used to seeing these pursuits end are probably not on the list of how this one's going to end. Obviously, we have no idea how exactly it's going to come to an end, but the behavior that we are seeing here is, let's just say, next level. By the way, we are dealing with multiple agencies even before he carjacked this truck. So despite the information that we received about the road rage and the hit and run, that would be a serious enough charge that would warrant a lot of law enforcement, with no doubt. But if there was another robbery involved or whatever else, it certainly would make a lot of sense, because there was already 2 helicopters overhead when we were hearing about this pursuit. It included Riverside County Sheriff and Ontario PD. Ontario is nowhere near here. So for Ontario to come down to Corona, that raises lots of questions. Corona PD involved in this now in a big, big way after their units have been fired at. And CHP, before he carjacked this vehicle, was already on the way out via ground and air units with their airplane. I mean, my mind immediately goes to the wild and crazy chase we covered in Fullerton just a few months ago back in November. We all know how that one ended, a much different situation, but still, I mean, that was when we literally saw 3 carjackings in one afternoon in one pursuit. So, you know, the sky's the limit. Look, people biking across the street here. He's taking a left turn off of Artesia Boulevard onto the southbound side of Woodruff Avenue. Southbound side of Woodruff, where he maybe even saw those people and just figured, let me just get off of Artesia here. He made a wild left there, and when we can, we'll pull back once again and just see if any of those units have managed to keep up with him. From the side, from the looks of it, I would say not yet. Look at this. Look at this. A whole bunch of, look at this. A whole group of kids crossing the street, school letting out here. This is the worst. This is the worst. This is the worst. Let's just hope he continues through at a slow clip here, lets the kids cross, and just keeps going. Nobody here has any idea what has happened or what is going on inside that pickup truck. Please just keep going. Please just keep going. He's stopping. He's stopping. He's trying to maybe communicate with that white SUV. Look at this. There are a bunch of units now. There they are. They've caught up now. A whole different story as they're going to, okay. So the first question I have, and Rob will help me out with this when he can, I want to, and with the help of our assignment desk, I want to get a better idea of what other agencies are involved here, because like I said earlier, there are going to be numerous agencies, as there likely were right there just at that intersection alone. A whole bunch of different agencies certainly were in Cerritos' jurisdiction. So Cerritos PD, that was actually Corona and Anaheim still. I'm being told still Corona and Anaheim, still the primary agencies here that have managed to catch up with him here in Cerritos, now taking a turn onto, I want to say that's O'Connor Avenue. We'll confirm that here in a second. That's South Street. Oncoming lanes of traffic through Bellflower and Del Amo. We're in Lakewood, and you start to see a little bit of smoke coming from the brakes as he a hard brake there as he came up on that intersection. So a little bit too hard. You saw a little bit of smoke emanating, and now he's continuing through through Del Amo, rather, continuing south or northbound. I'm sorry, northbound Bellflower through all of these red lights, hoping to lose those officers. When we get a chance, we'll widen out once again to see if any of them have managed to keep up after that last shooting. And it looks like they have fallen back again. They have fallen back, trying to figure out, and certainly we hope that nobody was hurt there, but that's a very real possibility. He fired at fairly close range. You guys might be able to re-rack that video when you get a chance, and we can maybe see he turned a tight corner there, and then he stopped the vehicle. If he was able to see those officers from the position where he shot that gun, that was fairly close range. Certainly hope for the best for those officers. We're continuing through another major intersection, the wrong way through another red light, continuing northbound Bellflower Boulevard. Whoa! Oh! Into the pole! Into the pole! Into the pole! They can't hear me, right? Oh, gosh. Look at this. Suspect. He's running without the gun. Running without the gun. They're going to take him down here. He's now on Western Avenue. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. He's on foot trying to carjack somebody else. Trying to carjack somebody else. Well, this was something else. I got to tell you, it's a miracle he exited that vehicle without that gun, because obviously the threat was so immediate, and ending in such a precarious position like this in such a busy intersection. Thank goodness nobody was hurt here.